Artist participant ಇದ್ರಿ start right? Yeah, we are starting with the program. I see a Rajendra Mundra, Chairman of Belgavi branch of SRC of ICI, on behalf of the Professional Skill Enrichment Committee ICI, welcome all the participants in today's webcast on effective use of LinkedIn for the chartered accountants. I also welcome CA Dr. Anuj Goyal, Chairman of Professional Skills Enrichment Committee, ICI, CA Supriya Kumar, Vice Chairman, Professional Skill Enrichment Committee of ICI, today's resource person, CA Abhijit Sanjgiri, and the event enabler, CA Virana Murgod, who is Vice Chairman of our branch and also SICASA Chairman, CA Sanjeev Deshpande, who is Secretary of our branch, CA Madhulapa Tigdi, Treasurer, CA Nitin Nimbalkar, Managing Committee Member, and CA Sachin Khadwadi, Managing Committee Member of the Belgavi branch of SIRC, and all others present over for this today's webinar. To introduce Dr. CA, Professional Skill Enrichment Committee of ICI, CA Dr. Anuj Goyal, Central Council Member 2020-25 of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, qualified FCA, FCS, FCMA, MCOM, LLB, PhD, Central Council Member of ICI since 2004. Chairman Ethical Standard Boards of ICI, Conveyor Publications and CDS Directorate of ICI, Vice Chairman of Substantially Reporting Standards Board, Vice Chairman of Taxation, Audit and Quality Review Board, and member of various non-standing committees of ICI. He is a dynamic Central Council member who has always with the prime objective to serve the members of ICI at large and always stands with and for the members of ICI. He had earlier served as chairman of CIRC of ICI and other positions of Central Council of ICI and the chairman in the Ghaziabad branch before joining the ICI Council. With this, I request Chairman Sir to kindly have the word to the members present.
Thank you, Rajendra ji. Thank you very much. And I'm really very happy that we are having this very, very important VCM in which we are having the best of the resource person, Abhijit sir, from the financial capital of the country, Mumbai, my very good friend. I very recently met him in Jodhpur, and we were there in the FDP program of the Board of Studies, where he was the chief mentor. So I welcome Abhijit sir and all our honorable members of this 50 years old, very, very prominent Belgavi branch, Rajendra ji, Sachin sir, Nitin ji, and Sanjeev Deshpande ji. And very, very important topic we have chosen, that how we can use LinkedIn for the chartered accountants and how it can be useful for the chartered accountants. And friends, this PSCC, we are trying our level best to really do something very, very concrete. For the first time in the history of ICI, this Professional Skill Management Committee has come into existence. And we want to see that how we can further enrich the skills of the best of the chartered accountants of the world, the members of the ICI. And we are very well aware that professional chartered accountancy is a highly respected profession and best known for their in-depth technical and regulatory knowledge. It can certainly benefit to society in terms of enhancing the knowledge and to keep it updated with all the latest development in related issues, whether it is account, corporate and allied law, business management, corporate governance, taxation, economy, information, technology, legal and regulatory mechanism, government initiatives, economy, etc. Powerful social media tools such as Facebook, LinkedIn, Gmail, YouTube, blogs, websites, Twitter, WhatsApp, Instagram, e-articles allowed us to share our knowledge and expertise and helps connecting people even though they are living miles apart. It is true that the professionals of chartered accountancy are required to obey the code of conduct. I'm the chairman of the ethical standard board, but I know how to use the social media is very, very important for the chartered accountants. So we are relaxing whatever restrictions are there for the chartered accountants, but you may share your knowledge without soliciting, securing, and advertising the prospective client in any manner. LinkedIn is perhaps the online professional network which can be best platform for sharing opportunities, knowledge, scope, crucial tips, advisory, and I'm quite confident that all of us will certainly be knowledgeable after the television of Abhijit sir, one of them very, very prominent resource person, and making connection, joining groups being the common feature of them almost all platforms. We can best use of the same here too. As most of your connections, users will be career driven, sharing your part of knowledge, advice will be helpful for them, and you can also record videos, audio of your giving all insights and experience and share directly through your advice. I will not be taking further time as we are very, very eager to hear our learned guest speaker Abhijit ji. I once again welcome all our honorable delegates from each and every part of the country, outside country. I think we are close to 2,000 delegates. That shows how important this professional skill enrichment committee is and how important this topic is. And each and every chartered accountant is very, very keen to see that how we can further enrich our knowledge in the best possible manner. Thank you very much.
CA Abhijit Sanjay, sir.
Yeah. Sure.
Thank you, Chairman, sir.
Thank you, Chairman, sir. Now I request our member Virana Murgod to introduce today's speaker, CA Abhijit Sanjgiri, sir.
Thank you, sir. It's a privilege to introduce today's speaker, CA Abhijit Sanjgiri. CA Abhijit Sanjgiri is having around 35 years of post-qualification experience,
Recording stopped.
of which he has over 25 years speaking experience at ICAI forums. Abhijit is blogging on LinkedIn over 4 years and has had over 1,000 plus posts. Abhijit sir has mentored on effective linked usage to many professionals. With this brief introduction, I request CA Abhijit Sanjgiri sir.
Recording in progress.
Now I'd like to brief on the object of the program. LinkedIn is one of the greatest professional networking tools available today. The information that can be used in multiple ways to allow users to implement more strategic research and networking strategies through LinkedIn. Users in every phase of the professional development can leverage LinkedIn to get an advantage for the future. Today's session throws light on how CA can effectively utilize LinkedIn for their professional endeavor. Now I request CA Abhijit Sanjgiri sir to take over and brief about the subject. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for inviting me to share my views on this topic, LinkedIn effective usage. Now, one is why LinkedIn? The point is every professional is there on LinkedIn. And if you want to know something about that person, where he's working, what he's done, the first thing one would do is to go on LinkedIn and find if he's there or not. And if one checks what he does, what he's posted, what recommendations he's got, what endorsements he's got for what skills, so you will get to know a lot of information. Now, in case of even recruiters, before even they get a biodata about that person, if they want to hire some person, they'll check him out on LinkedIn. And when we talk branding of chartered accountants, when we brand chartered accountants on value, one of the most effective mediums on which you could communicate value is LinkedIn. And when we are saying value, it's not just information, because information is available dime a dozen. It's more on the enriching and enlightening insights or wisdom which you can share on this platform is what you could be known, and over a period of time, you could build a community of followers. And as you keep on posting on this platform, your content development skills increase. Your content becomes more crisp and concise. Your thoughts become more precise. You become more focused. And a lot of things, the choice of words, the language you use, and maybe you could even cut a few videos also. So your communication skills also vastly improve. So the advantages of LinkedIn and being there is known to all. The point is, it's the gap between knowing and the gap of doing. So we know LinkedIn is an effective platform, but why aren't we there? Why isn't it a priority? We know it's important, but we still haven't made it urgent. So when do we take the first steps and make it urgent? Because your brand, the values you stand for, the personal values you stand for, and the professional values you execute can all be displayed effectively on this platform. So let's look at basically how we use this platform effectively and go ahead with learning something and enriching ourselves at the end of the session. Any questions? I would basically take it post this. I'll just see why my screen sharing. Yeah. So the first basic thing is opening a LinkedIn account. And I believe all of you would have a LinkedIn account. If not, please have one immediately. After having a LinkedIn account, one is updating your profile. And what is a profile? So if you go on LinkedIn and you see the profile, your profile at the start will have a photograph. And that's where you update that with your headshot. A headshot where 70% of your face is prominently seen. There is no background, no garden, no movie theater, no two people. It's just you, your headshot occupying 70% on the screen on a very clear background. So that's the headshot which you keep on updating every 6 months or so. Then there is a banner behind your photograph. Please use that banner to convey whatever message you want to give. So let's say I'm into risk management. I use the tagline, every risk needs to be de-risked. Whenever there's a risk, you need to de-risk. So whatever is the message you stand for, you could have that in the banner just behind. So one, the headshot, then the banner, and just keep on changing this every half year. Then you get to your section on which is what you call the about section, which it comes who you are, what you do, and for whom you do. So let's say you are a chartered accountant, you are working in so and so, but that's your name, your qualification, and your title. What LinkedIn would look at is what the skills you possess, how these skills could be useful to somebody else, and how are you using these skills to benefit somebody. So how are you basically addressing the pain point or challenges of, let's say, your target audience. So let's say you are a chartered accountant and you are into risk management. You could say a professional with 30 years experience into risk management. So let's say I would say when I am a chartered accountant, I would say I am a governance, risk and finance professional. I'm also an author, blogger, mentor, and a speaker. That's what I would say. So in the realms of ethics, don't advertise too much about your firm, your achievements, your titles, your clients. That's completely out. It's just what you do, how you do, and for whom you do. Simple. It's as basic because this has a specific words. It comes in 3 lines. So have that regularly updated. Don't have something which was 5 years or 10 years old. Just review your profile every 6 months. If there is some new skill which you have learned, just keep on updating it. So ideally, your profile should represent at the start what you do, for whom you do, and how you do. The next we go on, once it's there, the place where you are from. So let's say I'm from Mumbai. If you check in my LinkedIn profile, the status would be updated. A lot of people just say India. You just don't know from where in India they are from. So even if it's a small town, it's fine. The exact location, let it come in on your LinkedIn profile. Then once you go down, you have all an about section, which is your resume, what you have done over a period of time, how you have evolved as a person. Nobody wants a detailed description of what you have done, but it's basically your professional journey, your personal journey, your professional journey, which can be very neatly written so that it's interesting. Somebody, when he reads about you, he gets interested, he gets curious, he would like to follow you, he would like to connect with you, he would like to meet you, he would like to maybe do some professional work with you. So that's where your about section, which is there, which is very relevant. And then you showcase your experience, your education, and your skills. Now, LinkedIn gives you a certain set skills which you can put up as these are my skills. Now, I would recommend people to only have their current skills which are noted on this platform. A lot of people have more than 50 skills. I would say not more than 10 to 15 skills would be relevant. Avoid duplication of skills. Just stick to skills which are current, which are relevant for your current role or maybe your next role of growth. So something like MS Word, MS Excel, MS PowerPoint. I've seen a lot of professionals writing that as skills. Now, these are not skills. The point is, if you're proficient in something, then that is skill. Knowing something is not a skill because everybody knows something like an MS Word, MS Excel, or an MS PowerPoint. So if you're writing that as a skill in your profile, I think just review it. Somebody says, I'm a communicator, I'm a public communicator, I'm a professional communicator. So one is if you're writing a communicator or a public speaker or a professional communicator, it's good enough. Write only one of that. So I would not recommend somebody to put more than 15 skills. Avoid outdated skills. Avoid irrelevant skills. Now, what happens is people can endorse you for those skills. Now, LinkedIn will display only your top 3 skills at the top and rest will be in your background. Somebody wants to go deep in and check, then only he'll come to know. Otherwise, on your profile, when one takes a cursory glance, only the top 3 skills are displayed. So see that your best 3 skills are displayed on the profile, and these are your top 3 skills. These are the skills which you are recognized for. These are the skills where you want yourself to be recognized for. These are the skills where you would want people to endorse you for. And if you have more than 99 endorsements, LinkedIn will just give you 99 plus endorsements. If you have less than that, it will come out very openly 50 endorsements, 51 endorsements or whatever. But LinkedIn doesn't take a 3-figure number. So what will come is only a 99 plus endorsement. So your endeavor will be for all of us to get 99 plus endorsements on your top 3 skills, which can be showcased on your platform. Then the education will comes in. You could put your education, you could put your experience, you could put your contact details, you could put your email number. There is also a feature where you could feature your top posts on the main slide. So maybe about 5 or 6 of your posts could be featured. LinkedIn also at a glance shows how many people are following you. So that would also be visible. So if you have n number of connects or n number of followers, that would be visible to somebody. The more the number of followers, it would create an impression that this is a person who is active on this platform. He has a lot of followers. So while numbers may not mean much, they obviously create a positive perception. Anybody with more than 10,000 or maybe at the second stage, more than 25,000 followers is somebody who is a sort of a mini influencer on LinkedIn. So first stage is get to the 5-figure mark, get past the 25,000 plus mark, and then you could call yourself something as a mini influencer and then just go ahead. Now, what LinkedIn does now is also asks a lot of questions on topics of your skill, and you keep on answering this topic, they will reward you with a top management voice. So maybe you could get top management voices for the skills you are known for. So let's say I'm in risk management. I would be asked questions on risk management, or if I keep on answering questions on risk management, which are relevant, which are useful for the reader, then LinkedIn will recognize you by giving you a top risk management voice, and there will be a flashing symbol which will come on top. So this again gives you a sort of a mini branding. This could be for any of the top 3-4 skills you can look into. So say, let's say risk management, communication, or maybe some other skill which I have. I've got three LinkedIn voices. People could have those similar for those skills. So that becomes your updated profile at the start. So one is open an account, have a very clear headshot where 70% of your face is seen. Generally for a professional, have a headshot with a suit, with a nice tie, with a bright colored suit, with a striking background, which looks very good on screen. So the first look itself creates a very positive impression. Again, people look into depth of the photograph, how they would like to be seen very professionally, or they would like to be seen very humbly, they would like to be seen casually, they would like to be seen as somebody who's very approachable. So even your headshots could be focused appropriately. The only thing is, let it not be too casual for a professional, and let it only be a headshot. Then, as I said, the background banner, which could display the message you want to convey. Keep on changing this every half year. Then your tagline, what you do, for whom you do, how you do. Display your experience, your skills, your education. Update all the information and the contact details. There is a big resume section which you can write for about 200, 300 words. Use that in a nice language to convey your personal professional journey from the start. So if somebody looks at that, he would get a complete updated information about you. He need not check on you. So it becomes something as a trailer or a screen filter even before that person connects with you. And especially that's relevant for students, because if students keep on posting stuff, a recruiter would, when he checks in, he will get an impression about that young professional based on what is out on LinkedIn. So just be very careful on what you put. And as I also always tell students, you just put out what you have learned. So in 3 years, let's say, of your articles, or maybe now the 2 years of your articles, whatever are there, if you even post daily what you have learned, at the end of your 2-year period, if not 730, you will have at least 500 posts on LinkedIn, which is big. Now, 500 posts on LinkedIn, apart from leaving a digital footprint, whenever you are posting something, it's not that you're just copy paste and posting it. You're taking time to read it. You're taking time to edit it. So your reading skills improve. Your editing skills improve. The point that you have put something in a crisp and a concise manner improves your ability of condensing things. So something like making an executive summary, or making a short report, or maybe in a, what you call a 1-minute elevator pitch, or a 2-minute pitch, which maybe the top CEOs will only give you the time for conveying the most important points. I think those skills could, apart from you leaving a digital footprint, could also be coming in on the platform. So use this platform to your advantage and just go ahead. Now, I have a technique for being more effective, and I call it the CHEAT technique. Very easy to remember, the acronym CHEAT. The CHEAT, the C stands for the content. The more crisp, the more concise, the more qualitative the content, the post will go viral. People will keep on following you more. People will want to connect with you. People will respect you. People will appreciate you. People will acknowledge you. People will encourage you. So please focus on the first important point is the content. The next which comes is the hashtags. Hashtags are pretty relevant because hashtags, people follow hashtags, and hashtags is what will determine to whose hashtags the post will land from and which people will check your post. So for making the post viral, effective usage of hashtags is also important. We'll take that going ahead. The next is the E is the engagement. LinkedIn is not only for your content. LinkedIn is for content of everybody. People will engage on your content only if you engage on the content of others. So it's like a diesel engine. Before you are posting, at least 10 minutes before, start seeing somebody else's post, start engaging on their post so as to warm up the engine. So when the algo knows that you're arriving, so the moment your post is there, the people on whom you have engaged, your post will land on their feed. If they comment on your post, the post will also land on whoever are looking at their post. So the virality of the post goes on the engagement. It's not just on a great quality content, it's also on the engagement. So also be very clear of the engagement, what you do. The next A is the appreciation. LinkedIn throws up a lot of milestones of birthdays, promotions, and job changes. Make it a point to wish your connects or your followers for whom this would appear on these special occasions. It's always creates a good impression about you. You are remembered, and a lot of times once it throws up and you would acknowledge a lot old acquaintances, which again get rekindled for your benefit. So please note to acknowledge and appreciate people on their special moments of their life. And the last is the T is the timing. Timing is very important because the virality of the post depends upon the engagement which is there the first 1 hour. If you post something at 12 o'clock in India time, most of the people will be asleep. They will not be even looking at the post. And if the post doesn't see any engagement in the first 1 hour, the algo will not forward it ahead. So the post will die its own immediate natural death. One should know where one's audience is. So let's say if you are posting at 12 o'clock in Indian time, it would be, let's say, about 6 o'clock somewhere or 5 o'clock somewhere in Australia. If your audience is Australia and you want to post that at the early time before they're just getting up for work, then 12 o'clock makes sense. If you are posting that at a 6 o'clock, 6:30 time in UK, then that makes sense. If you're posting at a mid time for US, then that would make sense. But if your audience is predominantly Indians, then that would not make sense. So for India, the timing would be something like between 9 to 11. So before people leave their office, they might check, or on the way of their travel, they might check their cell phone, because most of the people use LinkedIn on their cell phones. Or maybe once they are in office, at time they settle, they'll quickly initially before they start your work, they would go through their LinkedIn messages, and then maybe or during the day they would go in and comment. But 9 to 11 or maybe 6 to 7 or 5 to 7 are the recommended times generally for India. You could have your own recommended timings, but don't post too late in the night, too early in the morning, or at crazy times in the afternoon, so that the post doesn't get any engagement in the first 1 hour, which is very crucial. So remember, the first 1 hour is very crucial. And if somebody has commented on your post, please ensure that you have also commented back and thanked him for commenting on the post. Because if somebody is commenting on your post and you don't acknowledge it back, point is, after some time, he'll stop even commenting on your post, because the least one expects is a basic courtesy of a thank you, because he's wasted time on commenting on your post. So the least you could do is to acknowledge him for spending his time for being on the post. So once we know the basics, we've known, then the cheat formula. Let's go more into depth and let's see what we could do. So one, you have opened your LinkedIn profile. Now, how do you get connected with people? Now, you know a lot of people through your Facebook contacts, your mobile contacts, and there would be other people also you would want to know. So one is, once you are there, there could be people who would want to get connected with you. So they would send you a connection request. You can also follow them. There is no dearth of you following people. But if you have to send a connection request, you have to actually send a request and that other person has to accept it. So just don't send connection requests to random strangers whom you don't know. Most of them will not accept your connection request, especially ladies will just not accept a connection request coming in from anybody whom they just don't know. So if you want to connect, you can invite them with a personalized message why you want to connect. So maybe if you're a chartered accountant and you want to connect with other chartered accountants, you say that I'm a chartered accountant from so and so, this is what I do. And you, since you being a chartered accountant, I would like to be in touch with you, gain more from your proximity of getting more knowledge, insights, or more wisdom about this area which you are practicing upon. So once you write very clearly why you want to connect, the chances of your connection request get increased by about 50%. Otherwise, the point is these connection requests would just not be accepted, and there would be no point in basically doing this at various points of time. So be very clear on whom you want to connect, how you want to connect, when you want to connect. So don't send connection request at unearthly hours. Send it at decent times during the day so that people would be in a position to accept your requests. Now, there are also some hashtags which you can follow. So there are popular hashtags. So one is if you are into risk management, you could follow risk, you could follow risks, you could follow risk management. If you are into artificial intelligence, you could follow AI. You want to follow ChatGPT, you can follow that hashtags because those hashtags will contain posts which would be relevant to those areas. So just send your connection requests to the right people. So connecting with the right people is also important. Or there is a strategy. Just don't send a connection request. Just follow up their post. Just engage with them on the post. Just maintain a rapport with them. And maybe 10 days, 15 days, once you have commented on 5-6 posts of theirs, once there is some chat between you two in the comments, then maybe you could connect with them, or maybe that person would himself send a connection request that it seems that you have been engaging on my post too often. I would like to basically engage with you more often. So why not let's be connected on the platform. Now, the advantages of a connection and a follower is that once if you are a connection, then the post may land up on your feed more directly. The details about his accomplishments, his promotions, his changes, or his birthdays will come to you automatically. It doesn't come in for a follower, but it comes in for a connect. And LinkedIn has a cap on how many people you can get connected with. The cap at present is 30,000. Now that's still a very big number. So till you have 30,000 connects, you can keep on connecting with any number of people. There is no limit to the number of people who can follow you or whom you can follow. But obviously, you can't keep on following too many people. So obviously, ensure that the people who follow you are at least 5 times the number of people whom you follow. So have a very broad ratio or on what you would do. So it's not just that you are on the platform, you also get connected with the right people, connect with the right people through engaging with the right people. Now, one is there is also something called a premium account. So premium account is once you are on LinkedIn, there is a fee which they charge. Now, there are people who give you discounted fee structures. The cheapest discounted rate which you could get is about, say, 500 rupees a month, I believe. But the premium account gives you certain features is that you would know who has followed you. You would know who has basically viewed your profile. You would also get entry to certain LinkedIn courses, which will not be available to a person. The premium account also gives you 20 messages which you can send directly to some person, personalized messages. which you can send to some person. So these are actually very useful tools for young professionals who are taking a job, because they need to send their profiles to recruiters. If they don't have a LinkedIn premium account, they will just not be able to send it, because the normal account just has about 3 or 5. The premium account gives you 20. So use this to the maximum in case you need a premium account. If you are not uh, basically using this as because you don't need a job, or you don't need to connect with somebody and send a personalized message as a sales message, then you may not. Anyway, this is coming at a 1 month free trial period. You can use the free trial period. If you feel that the features are good enough and worth the price, then you may go ahead and take it. Now, one thing is you're there, but you don't know how to navigate this. So find a good mentor to guide and support. And I was privileged to be guided 4 or 5 years down the line by my mentor. And looking at this, I feel I owed a duty to various people. So over the last 4 years, I would have personally taken a lot of sessions like this. I would have mentored many people. So a lot of people would for years send me their posts on WhatsApp, ask me to give my comments, edit the post for them, suggest them better hashtags, or what should the title of the post be? How should that post be more engaging or compelling? So a lot of stuffs. How does one, if I want to get in touch with this person, how would I approach and get to him? So a lot of these stuffs you might initially need some mentor or some guidance. So please have that. There are a lot of people who are taking courses on LinkedIn effective usage. There are many within your contacts or connects who would have a lot of followers on LinkedIn. So please get in touch with them, ask them questions, get your doubts sorted out, because these are just initial teething problems. Once in a month or two, you get used to the platform, I believe you're just ready to take off and go to the next level. And the next is the liking and commenting on posts. As I said, keep on liking and commenting on posts of people you want to follow or whom you genuinely want to comment on. So that's also a strategy. One is you engage authentically, but let's say you want to get in touch with, let's say, the CFO of XYZ Bank. And if he's active on this platform and he's posting, you could basically post on his, get to know him more better. Then maybe ask that you want to meet him or something. Don't directly jump and send a sales message that I want to meet you and I want to pitch in for something. So sales pitches on day one, strictly avoid. This is not a sales forum. This is a basically professional forum where obviously as a side A, there could be some sales benefit, there could be some professional benefits, there could be some business benefits, but that's only when a relationship, a rapport is built. And that relationship rapport can only be built by trust, credibility, and quality. So first demonstrate that. This post is all about givers. It's all about a giver's gain. It's as we say for a chartered accountant, pride of service before personal gain. It's not what I want from the other person. It's what I can give to the other person. And when you have that attitude and when you go out, there'll be a lot of people who would like to get connected with you. They would want you to be associated with this, because when you're good, it's you lose people. People don't lose you. So basically, when you're good, you will not lose people. People will lose you. So make it a point to be the selfless giver, giving all the enriching and enlightening insights, wisdom, your knowledge on offer on this platform. Information is available dime a dozen. Your own unique experiences, your skills, your stories, and something which talks of personal and professional values, which has that emotional heart-to-heart connect, will get you the virality. People will like you first as a person, then they will like you as a professional. Your personal values come first. If they like you as a person and they know that you are professionally also incredible, then that is a very deadly combo for people to like you, for you to be viral. You just can't be a brand, as they say on LinkedIn, just by doing something on your own. The ego, the arrogance will just not pay. You got to be humble. You got to be grateful. You got to be a sharer. You got to be a carer. You got to be a giver. So all of that is a selfless service has to be done first. It has to be demonstrated over a period of time. Then only you will have the trust, commitment, the respect for people to get engaged. And once you've done it, you've done the engaged, you keep on sharing your posts, your skills, your experiences, your wisdom, whatever you have learned, whatever you feel is something in this which somebody can learn and this would make a difference or it will impact somebody. Maybe it would motivate, it would inspire, it would transform that person to do acts what you desire for his good is what you should share on. So this is basically a sharer's platform. You share openly, you share with mindfulness, you share to help the other person grow. You will only grow when you have helped the other person grow. So just keep on helping, keep on sharing. As I say, hurt mad, be helpful, useful, and relevant with trust to make a difference. So helpfulness, usefulness, relevancy, and trust to make a difference is what you use to navigate the platform. Now starting, the earlier, the better. Don't wait for the perfect post. No day is a great day. Every day is a good day to start. If you are 40% even ready, start. If you're more than 70% ready, don't wait, because nobody is 100%. Everybody is learning. Everybody is learning new things every day. Everybody is exploring, experimenting to evolve. So it's basically just go out there, just start posting. Don't feel that you are not ready. Just keep on posting. You may not see traction initially, but you learn from the mistakes you have done. So take mentorship, take guidance, take support, and be out there with your post tomorrow. If you need any help, just get in touch with me, get my number, call me, share the post, take some tips and go ahead. Don't wait. There's no good time as today, no good time in today than right now. So one, go ahead, you learn on the go, type on WhatsApp what you want to post, edit that on WhatsApp, just share it from WhatsApp to basically that post. If you have any pictures in your gallery which you'd like to put your personal pictures, or if there is something which if you are good at Canva, you can design something, or LinkedIn will also give you a template where you can type something to add as a. So don't put a post without a creative or a picture. Pics which will be doing well will be the ones which will have your picture, it will have your Canva template. So use that. Initially, maybe you may struggle to know Canva and do better, but over a period of time, you'll obviously do it. And then maybe you can even put your own videos, you can put your presentations, you could put your carousels, you could all go to the advanced version, but just start. And when you're putting videos, please ensure that you don't put more than 1 minute video, because nobody has the time to even go in for your video more than a minute. And when you're putting a video, just ensure that what you're speaking is also coming as a text line, so that people, let's say if they're going in a train or they are traveling somewhere and they don't have the headphones and they still want to know you, but they're putting it on mute and seeing that. So once if you're speaking something, it's without the titles, they may not be able to understand what you've done. So for other people's convenience, also use those titles when you speak. So one, go ahead, post, select your picture. There's no harm in using your personal picture as long it's your solo picture. Don't put a picture of you going on a vacation somewhere on a very serious professional post. So see that the posts which are being posted and the pictures which are being used are relevant to the context what it is for. So just get started. Just get started. There's no time. If you have not posted since a long time, just keep on posting. Ideally, post every alternate day. If every alternate day is not there, post twice a week or at least post once a week. But once a week, I believe, is the mandatory minimum for all professionals. If you are not there, it's that you've not built a brand. It's you may not go anywhere. So just start and start. Simple. Now, what should one post? What should be the content? People will ask, what should I post about? So what are you doing as a professional? You would have one area where you would be an expert. And one needs to be an expert in a particular area. Gone is the time when you were a jack of all trades. It's jack of only some or jack of only few. A king and a queen of the few of the few of the few which you are. So you are a king or a queen of a very few number of skills or work. So if you are in GST, you are in GST. If you are in direct taxes, you are in direct taxes. I'm into risk management. I'm into risk management. I'm into risk management for banks. I'm into risk management for banks. If I'm into risk management for banks, out of that, I'm into risk management for cooperative banks. I'll be into risk management for cooperative banks. If within risk management for cooperative banks, I'm into risk management for state cooperative banks, that's a further niche. So maybe you could have your niche, so the riches and the niches. So jack of few, king of queen, of few from the few, and an emperor or the empress of just one or two among the few of the few. So one is just be in that unique position where you have certain knowledge, certain experiences, certain skill sets which nobody has. So either you are in the niche or even further than that, be into a unique category creation area so that you are in that blue ocean strategy where nobody knows what you're doing. So you are the first mover advantage in that particular area. So if you are there, use it to disrupt the system, be a disruptor before you get disrupted. Go ahead. Then the next stage is you become an influencer. From an influencer, you become a national icon. From a national icon, you be a global legend, known everywhere. Just go ahead. See, the journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. So you just can't have your self-doubts or some thoughts that maybe could I make it or could I not make it. If you don't start, you will never make it. At least start and keep on getting better and better along the way. So be crisp, be concise, use bullet points. Don't make a long story. Nobody has the time. We are living in an economy where there is a complete attention deficit disorder. Nobody has the time. We are a country completely on the move. There is no patience. There is no tolerance. So don't make things difficult for people. Don't have a long essay which is there. Have small, crisp sentences which are maybe paras of not more than 2 sentences, not more than 5 or 5 paras. So have, I would say, not just longish post or not too short post. Have some short to medium post because that's the trend people will lean for. So don't be too boring or repetitive. Have the target reader in mind. For whom are you speaking? Obviously, there has to be some target audience which you will have to have in mind. You can't just speak for anybody, whether it's for youngsters, whether it's for senior professionals, whether it's for mid-career professionals. The language also has to be in that manner. And don't get worried if you don't get the likes or the followers, because the more the niche area you are, the more lesser number of people would be viewing those posts because it's not for their genre. So if you are targeting the right audience and establishing the right connect, I think you'll just make, and there are cases where there are followers who are actually looking for your post, looking forward to what is the new stuff you're putting in, what is the new value add which you're giving them. So be in a position where you basically ask, when are you posting next? What are you posting next? How are you posting it? So be the person who's sought after for his thought leadership. So branding through thought leadership on LinkedIn is one of the prime things you can do. So just go ahead with your content, start posting, As you post it, you'll be crisper, you'll be more concise, you'll be more certain, you'll be more confident, you'll be more competent, you'll be more credible. So all the C's you'll tick off, you'll be more creative, you'll be more critically thinking as you design and craft your post. So one is, in the era of chat GPT, you will get a lot of content which is there. People will make out whether the post is from chat GPT. So don't use chat GPT blindly, or better not use chat GPT. If you're still using chat GPT, curate it. Just take the central idea or the theme or some words or some sentences from it. 10% could be chat GPT, 90% could still be you, but it should not be the other way around. People will lose their respect for you because people are smart enough to know a chat GPT post and an original, authentic, curated post. So be original, be authentic, and use your own content. In case you've still used posts or content from somebody else, take his permission, give him the due credit. Don't just post anybody's content as if it's your own content. So be a person of integrity, respect somebody else's post, somebody else's originality, and give it the due credit. Again, it's not what you say. It's what the audience wants to hear. It's what your connects want to hear. It's what your followers want to hear. It's what we call VIPM. What is in it for me as an audience? What is in it for them as an audience? It can't be what I want to say. I may want to say 1,000 things, but what I want to say, does it matter? Is it relevant? Is it helpful? Is it useful? Only when it's helpful, useful, relevant, then it will click. So be very clear, certain what your key message is. Is the key central message addressing a pain point of your target audience? Is it something that they are grappling with? That is something which it's hitting them hard. They are facing challenges, they are facing problems, and you are coming here and giving something which is an effective solution, which is economical, which is saving them time, which is saving them money, which is saving them efforts. Then you have made it. So be very mindful of what you post, what you're doing, for whom you're doing, and how you're doing. And something is all about insights. It's all about enriching and enlightening wisdom. It's not about data. It's not about information, because information is easily available. You just Google and now you'll get all the knowledge. You use ChatGPT, you'll get all the knowledge in a condensed form. The only thing is the experiences and your own emotions which go in a post, the human touch which is there, which makes an edge-to-edge connect. It's not a B2B, C2C, B2C connect. It's the human-to-human connect. It's the heart-to-heart connect that will matter in this time. So use those unique thoughts. Use your unique experiences. As we say, no 5 fingers of a hand are the same. No second person is the same in the way he has lived his life. To use those unique experiences, think through. As you think, there'll be a lot of thoughts. We say we receive maybe 15,000 thoughts a day or n number of thoughts a day, but there are only a few thoughts which are relevant. We can freeze on those thoughts. Freeze on those thoughts. Pause. Go a bit deeper into the thought. Expand that thought. You will have a whole line of clear thinking. Just condition your brain to pause and think more deeper. And maybe what you are thinking, just write it down on some paper if it's there, or if you have your mobile, on some notepad, or maybe somebody else's WhatsApp, and maybe with some edits or some again thinking, you would have a post ready of a thought in about 10 to 15 minutes. And as soon as you go and do it, maybe you could just have a post. So by constant practice, your post could be made as fast as 5 minutes. I've had posts waiting in airport lounges. I have posts made while I'm traveling in a cab, in a rig, in maybe a bus, or am I waiting for somebody to give me an appointment, let's say an audit committee meeting. I'm the next in queue. There is a whole delay which is there because of some reason. And then again, to divert my attention, I would go in and make a post on any of my thoughts which is coming in. So maybe this could be a mini multitasking, or this could be more effective utilization of your time. So you are branding, you are leaving a digital footprint, you are making your credibility, your competency, all with this posting. So content is not just king, content is emperor or empress. So let's pause for a minute on this. Any questions at this stage? We were through at about 12. We'll break for any questions at this stage if anybody has anything on content, and then we'll go ahead and go to the next parts. So any questions? Somebody, I think instead of unmuting, they can give it on the chat to somebody, and maybe they can read out, and I will take all those questions, so that when I move up, I know we are on the same page.
Sir, please continue. At the end only we'll ask the queries.
That's fine, but let me give a pause because 2 hours, I think it's too much for somebody to digest. So let them actually make note of a lot of things. So what I'll do is I'll just take a 1 minute break.
Sir, this is the platform of one to many. From somewhere in the other platform, the question is asked by the participant concerned.
So going again deeper into the content, what is your vision? Why are you posting on LinkedIn? What would you like to be known as? So if you're building a brand through LinkedIn, through your thought leadership, what is that thought leadership? Do you have clarity on why you are posting? What you are posting? So what means, what is the content? Why is the longer mission or the purpose? Who is the target audience who's there? How would you design and structure your content so that that content actually connects heart to heart and is very effective? And as I said, how do you space that? Whether you space it as a long post, you space it as a short post, you space it as just one words, bullet points. Now, each one can design a style of his own. He could have a structure, he could use a template, he could use a code, he could use a video. There could be various ways in which you could creatively express yourselves, and that becomes your unique style. Using a color, a specific color day in, day out, even as a background for the template of your post, will be something which people will identify you for. Now, I would use a particular hashtag. I would always use it at the end: bloom, de-risk, and compound. These are the words I use. So you could all use your own words. You could all use your own quotes. You could all use your own trademark words, sentences, punchlines. You could use your own logos. You could use your own pics. You could use your own colors. You could use your own font. You could own your own smileys. Whatever you could do, use it so that the repetition creates the visibility, and it creates a remembrance. It creates a memory. It creates a recall in the minds of your target audience, and they can easily relate and identify with what you have done. So one is the content, the why, the who, the what, and the how, and the use of hashtags. Don't use any hashtags. LinkedIn would only value 4 hashtags being used, and that 4 hashtags should be relevant. A lot of people just post with hashtags which not even have any followers. So use hashtags which have followers, which have large followers. So hashtags like management, hashtags like communication, hashtags like social media, hashtags like personal development, hashtags like technology, hashtags like innovation, hashtags like marketing, hashtags like creativity, hashtags like branding. Use those hashtags like, let's say, a CA, hashtag like a risk, hashtag like a risk management. Use those hashtags if you're posting, they are relevant for your post. Don't use hashtags with your name. If there is no follower for that hashtag, it will land on a no man's land. Technically, it will land on the moon where there's nobody. And now, since the LinkedIn algo follows only the first 3 or 4 hashtags, if those 4 hashtags do not even have a combined 100 followers, your post will land on those 100 followers pages. And if none of those followers would engage on your post, the LinkedIn algo will determine that this post is not worth forwarding. So you not even get a single like or a single comment. So the entire purpose of getting engagement, getting a feedback, getting a validation on your post gets completely defeated. So just be very mindful of what hashtags you use and to whom you are tagging. Now, tagging, if you tag a particular person on whom the post is written, at least tell the person that you're posting on him, and then you'll be posting at so and so time. So please at least engage on the post. So if the algo sees you tagging somebody and that person does not engage on your post, LinkedIn algo picks up the fact that this is a post which has tagged somebody and that person himself doesn't find it worthy of engaging. Why should I share this post with other people? And it will not share the post. So just don't tag endlessly some people. At times, people have taken objection. Why have you tagged me without your permission? And that looks very insulting. That looks very embarrassing on LinkedIn. So when you're tagging people, tag only people whom you know. Tag people only if the post is for them. Tag people only after you have communicated to them that you will be tagging them and you have their permission to tag. So there was one post which I made on a Shark Tank guy because that was a great inspirational story. So I made the post. Since I am on a premium account, I could communicate with him directly. I said, this is what I liked and this is what is the message I'm sharing and this is what I would like to share about you, and do I have your permission? So he liked this. He even said, these are certain facts which I think are not correct. You edit it. He edited it for me. He gave me 1 or 2 pictures of them also with this, and he also reshared this post on his network. So that's the credibility, that's the trust you build when you actually ask for somebody's permission and do it. Now, one is I would not encourage you to reshare somebody's post because what happens is the LinkedIn algo only recognizes an original post. A reshare will not give you any value. It will give you value. It will give value to the person who has posted and whose post is being reshared. So when you reshare something, you are respecting actually the individual who has posted it. And if the post is for you, then maybe you reshare it only for acknowledging that person. Otherwise, if you're posting, let it be your original post, your post. You could maybe give credit to that person. So instead of resharing, I would say this was a post which was shared about me by Abhijit Sansgiri, and this is the post. Fine. So I will not reshare. I will post it as my post, but I would give credit to the person who has posted it. So don't reshare. Reshare doesn't add any value except to the one who's the original poster. If you want value, post it as your own post, giving due credit to the person who is given the original post. Now, even the design and the structure of the post, if the post is spaced out, the post has small paras, the post has a structure, at a first glance itself, the post looks good to look at. So when the post is there, a catchy headline, bullet points in the middle, and a call to action in that end, which is a powerful punch, that would want basically enable people to comment on your post. Why should a person comment on your post? Is there first an invite from your point of view asking for a feedback? Is there a request asking for a feedback? Are you thanking him in advance? Please give a feedback. I would love to have your views. So are you using those courteous, grateful words for him in advance? Maybe if you use those words, then the chance that somebody would comment on your post will be 1 or 2%. The point is, otherwise, why should somebody engage on your post? Is this post something which is uniquely one in a trillion that he should engage? And just imagine how many people would be posting daily on LinkedIn. So there is a complete scarcity of time, complete scarcity of attention, complete competition among various other people posting and vying for attention. So why you? Unless there is something unique, something mesmerizing, something inspiring. So if you're moving him from his mess to something which will mesmerize him, yes, he's your fan, he's your follower. Then how do you do it? It's not done overnight. Maybe you may have one unique idea once a time, but yes, that may get the engagement, that may get the virality. What after that? So consistency has to be done, and consistency will happen only when you keep on posting. As I said, the ideal 5 times a week, if not thrice a week, if not twice a week, if not at least once a week. Please make it a habit to post. Again, have a catchy headline, have a headline that draws attention, have a headline which invites a read, makes that curiosity. After the headline, the middle portion should be gripping. It should actually address a pain point, a challenge. You provide a solution, a knowledge, a wisdom, an insight, which is unique, which is effective. And then you end powerfully with a strong message, a message that would be completely remembered, a strong call to action. What do you want him to do? And then invite comments, invite feedback. If you don't invite comments or feedback, people won't comment on your post. Not that they will comment or give you feedback if you have asked for one, but if you have not asked for it, they will never do it. So please ask for comments or feedback. There are limitations of words which you have. So please ensure that the post is crisp and concise. People, as I said, don't like reading large posts. So make it short and simple. Don't try to be too grammatically perfect. This is not about grammatical perfections. It's all about the core. It's all about the essence. It's all about the message. And I have never tried to be grammatically perfect because words matter and there is some unique style. So something like if I have to write you, I will not write you, I will write you. If there is and, I will not write and, I'll put the symbol. If there is two, I would give the number. So I will use all which I can. I'll eliminate all repeat words. I'll eliminate a lot of nouns and maybe use pronouns to shorten and make the message crisp and concise. So I post and then I do a lot of edits to make it crisper by some 20% or so. So a 20% chip chop is what I would recommend people to do to get very close to the central message. Because if you type too much, the central message also would be lost in a lot of stuff which is there. And if that central message is not coming out in the center, in bold, or at the top, or at the end, basically it should not get lost in the crowd of other words which you have used. So be very clear on how you structure your post. So one, what could you post on? So any trending topic of the day, any news, any headlines, any of your hobbies, your sports, your passion. Absolutely no politics, no religion. You can talk of your core expertise, the knowledge which you have learned, the wisdom which you have gained, maybe the insights which you have to share or you have heard from somebody which are worthwhile for people to know. You can have quotes. You can have dissections of those quotes. You could read a book and share the essence of the book. You do all your experiments, all your tweaks, you experiment to expand, evolve, and make it interesting. You could have a story. Once upon a time, there was XYZ. then you draw him down to that interest. So make at the start something which is just a one sentence. Then the next is one sentence, then two sentences, then maybe a para with three sentences. That's it. Then you develop it and then have a closing, which is maybe a 3-2-1, three sentences, 2 and 1. Or you could have everything 2 sentences, have everything 1 sentence. Have your own style, have your unique style, make it interesting. Common challenges, pain points, keep on addressing them, keep on discussing them, give solutions, suggest improvements. Keep on hammering this, keep on repeating this. You would be known for a particular area of your expertise, your experience, your wisdom, your insight, your knowledge. So be, as I say, the master of that niche. Now, quotes. Be original. Don't copy content and say as if this is your own. People will know that. Don't fake stories and emotions. Again, storytelling, story showing, story shaping, story curating is highly overrated. Everybody does it. But is it coming with the right authenticity and the right originality and the right emotion? Just because X, Y, Z is doing it, you're doing it, and you're not doing it for any of these, it will fall flat. Or it will bounce in the reverse direction with double the impact. So be very clear on using things which are to the context, situational and context. So just don't do something because it's the new thing to be done. It's the fad to be done when you don't know how to do it. Don't use cuss words, don't use foul words, don't be negative, don't complain, don't blame, don't be a crybaby, don't give negative emotions, negative vibes, negative thoughts. As I said, give credit for someone's code, someone's work, obtain his permission, give him due credit on the post itself. Be original, give your point of view. Don't copy paste somebody else's point of view and post it as your point of view. Obviously, that person, if he sees it and he says this was his post, and then it'll be an entirely credibility issue. And once you lose your credibility, it will take you months or years to get back that credibility. So don't do something which will hamper your brand image of a thought leader in any way. So it's only integrity, authenticity, and genuineness that will pay in the long run. So it's nothing else. It's all about being, as we say, our ethics, being transparent, being objective, being competent, being professionally savvy, and it's all about all this stuff, which is what will matter. So play out your game with all integrity and passion. So maybe you could speak on health, wellness, relationships. You could speak on economy, finance, wealth. You could speak on management and leadership. You could speak on motivation and inspiration. You could speak on science and technology. You could speak on environment and society. You could speak on sales and marketing. You could speak on anything. I'm just giving you illustrative way. You could stick to one and you could do it. But if you are chartered accountants, you could stick to finance, you could stick to valuation, you could speak to taxation, you could speak to risk, you could stick with compliance, you could stick with governance, you could stick with stock market investing, you could stick with business consulting, you could stick with GST, you could stick with direct taxes, you could stick with transfer pricing, you could stick with international taxation, anything which is your area of expertise, you could just stick to. Just keep on sharing your new thoughts, your new views, the new advancements which have come in this area. Once people see this, if there is something if they want an opinion or they want some consultant in this, you should be the top of your mind recall. And it's the top of my mind recall is not by sharing who you are, which firm you belong, which clients you do, how many years you have been. It's just by sharing your thought leadership, your experiences, your expertise in a particular niche area. Just keep on saying so maybe when I also give my profile, I just use only 3 or 4 sentences. I just don't talk, this is what I was, this is what I did, this is what I accomplished. This is not me. I am defined by the value I offer. I am defined by what is perceived by the person who is receiving my service. So value, like beauty, which is in the eyes of the beholder, value is a perception by the receiver of the service. It's a function of quality. So if you're saying you are adding value, then add value with your values, with trust, with integrity, so that you make an impact, you make a difference. So that's on what you could do. We set the hashtags. We covered the C. Let's cover the H, the hashtags. Identify the post. Earlier, if the post was trending in a particular hashtag, LinkedIn used to give a notification. This was during the COVID time. This stopped. Take an inventory of popular, widely used hashtags. So just go to the search, use the hashtag key, use the word, you will come to know how many followers are there. Generally, I use hashtags which are more than 1 crore followers, and I just use 3 or 4 hashtags. And I have a proprietary hashtag, risk de-risk, which is mine. I have created it. People who are following this are ones who are following me and my hashtag. So I use this hashtag not because it has so many followers, just because it's mine. There is an emotional value attached to it. And people would, if they want to check my posts, if they check it with the other emperor hashtags I use, emperor hashtags means hashtags with followers more than 1 crore plus, my post may get lost in those hashtags. If I'm following my post with my proprietary hashtag, all my posts will land up because I'm the only one who's using those hashtags. But use only one proprietary hashtag which you have created. Just don't use any hashtags of anything which comes in your mind and just make a sentence out of it and make a hashtag. First, check how many followers are there. Don't use any hashtag which has less than 1 lakh of followers. Use only hashtags which have maximum followers. But in case you would want to use, at least use something which has followers in a couple of lakhs. Don't use hashtags with fancy names, with your own words, own names, own titles, anything. Don't make a khichdi of those hashtags. Use original popular hashtags with large followers. Just use about 3 hashtags. No hashtags with followers less than 10,000 or 1 lakh. So that's about hashtags. Be very mindful of the hashtags, because based on the hashtag, the post will have a reach on that hashtag. If that hashtag has no followers and it lands up and it doesn't get through anywhere, the algo will not throw the post anywhere and the post is as good as dead. Again, people still go and use more hashtags. So I say ideal is 3 or 4, max is 6. I generally use the MICE acronym: marketing, innovation, communication, and entrepreneurship is the hashtags I use. So you can use business, you can use economy, and I give various hashtags which you could use. You could use that. Again, hashtags, either you use those hashtags at the end or you use those hashtags which are spaced out. Don't have in the middle of the post the hashtags come in, because it will disturb the flow of the post. It will disturb the visual appeal of the post. So I generally post all my hashtags at the end. I've given my call to action. My post is over. I'll just put 3 or 4 hashtags which I generally follow at the end. So each one may have his own style, but I would prefer those being written because I've experimented enough and know how those hashtags would make someone go viral. So just have the hashtags at the end. Tagging people. A lot of people like to tag other people. I don't know whether that's names dropping or they like to tell people that they know these people. So it's something, it's maybe a matter of pride that I know that person, but whether that person wants himself to be tagged through you. There are many cases where the people will take offense if you have basically not use the permission of that person to tag him. So take the right permission to tag. Maybe you can tag influencers, because once they are tagged and they respond, then the post lands on their fields. If they have large followers, it will land on many people. If those people comment on your post or like your post, then your post will go viral. So in a way, it's good, but it can backfire if this guy doesn't give a damn to it and doesn't even do anything. Then it will bounce back with double the negative impact on your post and it will go nowhere. Don't tag celebrities whom you don't know. People just tag anybody. And I remember once I had tagged Gary Vaynerchuk, who was the king of LinkedIn at one point of time. And maybe I would never repeat that mistake again. But I had tagged him because of something which he had said and which I really liked. And I said, let me tag him to give him all the respect and honor. And I also said that maybe I'm tagging you because of so and so, so and so. There's no reply from him at all. So maybe I would not advocate this to anybody to do it. Yes, if you like something, maybe vote him, but think twice before you tag somebody, especially without his permission. Don't tag people who don't acknowledge and revert back. So let's say I'm in a mastermind group and we have decided that we will tag people in a group. So, or let's say we are in a community. Let's say your branch is a community and you tag people of your branch and these guys just don't engage back. Then maybe I don't think they would be worth tagging, because one is it harms your post. And the second is if they are not worth the respect you're giving them, then they don't deserve the respect. Don't give them the respect. So don't tag people and don't tag too many people. Maybe about 2-3 people in the post is fine. If you still want to tag too many people, tag those people in the comment section. So if you really want to tag people, tag them in the post, but not more than 1, 2, max 3. If you want to tag too many people, just tag these people on the comment section. Videos and pics. Short videos, I will now not advise more than 1 minute. 2 minutes is the max you could go through if that video is really entertaining and interesting. And if you don't do it for 2 minutes, it will kill the essence of the video. But more than 2 minutes, don't do it. Split it into 2 posts and edit it and post it over a period of 2 days. But don't use more than a video which is more than 2 minutes for 1 post. And the post and the video, just link it. Don't give some outside link or something for that video. Have the video on the post itself. State the contents of the video. As I said, if somebody is watching it in a crowded train or while traveling and he can't put on the music or the audio as he doesn't have a headphone, then the titles would help him. So be mindful and give titles with that. In the video, see that the light, the sound is very clear. You are seen, you are visible. It creates a good impact with the colors. The sound, obviously, it has to be with the right pitch. It can't be too loud or it can't be too slow. Have high resolution pictures if you're using, and if you're using somebody else's pics, be clear that these pictures are not copyrighted. So that there could be a lot of free pics available from certain sites, or better still, use your own pictures which you have taken. At times, maybe if you have taken some pictures from somewhere, please quote the source, because if you are trying to make a commercial exploitation of that, then maybe the Copyright Act would apply and maybe there could be possibilities of you being in some embarrassment. But as far as possible, try to avoid pictures or don't post pictures which are copyrighted. Post your own proprietary pictures. Timing. The timing is key. And when you time your post, it will land on the people's feed at the time when they are on the platform. So let's say I am on the platform. So if you send a post to me at about 10 a.m., chances are about 70% I'll see it. If you post it at 11 a.m., the chances I'll see is about 50%. If you post at 12, the chances will be 30%. But if you post me at 12 o'clock in the night till 8 o'clock in the morning, chances are zilch that I would see your post. And if in the first 1 hour that post is not responded by many people, the post will die a natural death. So don't post something which is at an irrelevant odd time. So you might be catching a late night flight and you would be at the airport and you would be free and you would basically be making a post and then posting it. So just don't post it save the post on the platform, as and when there are auto schedulers also. But if not, just go at 9 p.m., just go at 10 p.m., 10 a.m., whatever is the time, just go and make the post. So the post is already done. You just have to post it. So be mindful of the timings. If the post is of quality and real quality, so let's say something of demonetization, which happened at about 8 o'clock, or there was some year where India has won something, which, let's say India wins the World Cup and that comes out at 12 o'clock. You post on that. The entire nation will be awake at that time and that post will have that impact. If there is something of some news which happens at some odd hours, people will still be there. So let's say the Olympics, Neeraj Chopra, the Paris Olympics, it's happening at 3 o'clock in the morning and he's won, and you would have posted some congratulatory message, congratulating him, bringing out how he's motivating, how he's inspiring others. And it's not just about a portrait that congrats for him winning. It's about what are your insights, your comments on that win, and how that win will help people get motivated, inspired, transformed, and influenced. And your own tadka with it what will make the post go viral, because a lot of people will be posting the same stuff. Congrats, Neeraj, congrats, XYZ. Unless such posts are there, time the post at the regular time. So post alternate day, 5 days a week, the best. Don't post more than twice a day, because if you post more than the second time, the first post will have an impact. Or if the first post is still alive, the second post will have an impact. So basically, don't post unless the first post has seen its engagement taper off. And generally, the engagement tapers off after 20 hours. So ideally, post a day. There are people who post twice a day also. But unless there's a rare occasion, don't post it. Don't make it a habit. If there's a habit, make it once a day, 5 times a day, every alternate day, or at least once in a week. So as I said, 9 to 11 a.m., perfect time for a local audience to make his post. Don't post too early or too late in the morning. Stay on the post an hour after posting, because the 1 hour is the one which sees the maximum engagement or the traction on a post. So if somebody has commented on your post, thank him for that. So in the first hour, just do that. Maybe after the first 1 hour, you could do it alternate of 2-3 hours, or maybe twice or thrice a day, which is fine. But in the first hour, be on the post and engage. And engage with people who comment. It looks very bad if somebody has taken the time out and commented on your post and then subsequently you have not commented on his post. So be courteous, be grateful to those who have spent that maybe 10 seconds valuable time of their life, which will never come back, engaging on your post. So just be mindful of that and thank them. Now, how do you build connects further? Be a part of a tribe or a community. There are many communities on LinkedIn. You can be a part of that. Wish people on their birthdays, on their promotions. If you want to share something, you can share that by your private LinkedIn messages, or you can share that post on WhatsApp if you specifically want somebody to know this. But a lot of times I post something, I want my partners to see that, my chartered accountants to see that. I would send directly the post either on their private message if they are on LinkedIn as a dominant medium. Otherwise, I'll send it on WhatsApp. So you could also do that. That would also give you more engagement, as well as your message will reach to the people whom you actually want to see them. So one is LinkedIn Connects can be used to supplement, or it can also be used to alternate to the card exchanges that happen. So if I'm meeting you, I'll just say, let's connect on LinkedIn. I'll share my LinkedIn profile, or I'll type, get your name, search it, send your connection request immediately, or ask that guy to send me the connection request. I'll accept it immediately, and then we can be in touch and we can engage with each other. We can look at ways in which we can cooperate, to collaborate, to co-create and co-elevate each other, because we're living in a world which is of being complementary to each other with their skills. We're not living in an era of competition. We just don't have all the skills which are required to succeed. We will have to borrow somebody else's skills, work just on our strength skills, and maybe collaborate for the rest. So LinkedIn is a great platform to do that. So let's do that. Again, appreciate and acknowledge a good post if it is there. Don't shy of respecting, recognizing, appreciating, acknowledging, encouraging, empowering people who have posted well so that they post again and again, and they motivate, inspire, influence, and transform people to succeed. So connect also with those second connects who are engaging on your post. So people who would engage on your post could be either your first connects or would be your second connect. That means second connects means somebody who's a connect of your connect, not directly connected to you. He's the second connect to you. So in such cases, if there are you could check them out. If you find them interesting, you could follow them. You could connect with them after some time. So you could have a strategy in which you could basically connect with those who are engaged. So you could thank them for connecting on the post. You could check their post. You could thank them. Then you could maybe say that this is what I like about you. This is what is your qualities which I would like to know. So is it okay if you could connect with me and share with me some of those insights? Now, if he agrees, then ask him whether you can send the connection request. If he again agrees, send the request. Now, there is something in LinkedIn called a lion. A lot of people put something on their profile which is known as a lion. A lion stands for a LinkedIn Open Networker. A LinkedIn Open Networker means if you send him a connection request, he'll never refuse. Now, there are two kinds of lions who are there. One, who believe that this is a platform for engagement. One can learn from everybody and anybody. If that person is trying to be nasty or crude, maybe he can always be blocked and he can be deleted. But LinkedIn is an open learning platform and people are there out to share knowledge, value, wisdom. So let me connect with everybody. Let me a LinkedIn Open Networker. Let me be a lion. The other people are doing this to increase their followers, to create a perception. Now, if somebody looks at my page and sees maybe I'm close to 30,000 followers, the impact would be different. If I'm speaking on this, it would add credibility. If I have some 100 followers and I'm speaking on this and giving some general gyan or based on theory, nobody will respect you. So people would also do this to grow their followers, not organically, artificially. But again, if you have not grown organically, you don't have any substance. When you talk something, it will come out clearly. When I'm talking on this subject is because I've made some 1,000+ posts over 4.5 years. I've mentored more than 500 people to do better on LinkedIn. I feel I have the credibility to talk on this subject because yes, I have experimented. I have evolved through those experimentations by learning, by making mistakes. So I don't want people to do the same mistakes which I have done. So if I can tell them, don't do this, you'll save your learning part. You'll save your experience part. You could focus on much more better things in the shorter time. So yes, why not help people? If somebody has helped me at some point of time, always share the knowledge, and you would also be pleasantly surprised by the benefits you get in return if you just go ahead with this selflessly. Branding on LinkedIn. Why do people follow you? And why? And why should they follow you and why? So maybe you could ask this question to a few of your followers. Why have they followed you? What do they like about you? What they would like more about you? What they would like you to do more often? So you'll get a lot of great feedback. So please do that. So also ask them, what is their perception about you? What is your image that they have? What is the top of the mind recall which they have when they hear about you or they read your posts? Have you formed that killer punchline, which is your trademark word? Every risk needs to be de-risked. Whenever there is a risk, you need to be de-risked. Who are you? Let's say I'm a risk de-risker. Is there some taglines, punchlines, something which you have had, which your brand will be identified for? And as I say, are you using your CCTV at all times? When I mean CCTV is your competency, credibility, talent, and your values. Are they being utilized 25/8 by 366? It's not just 24/7. It's even an extra cushion so that you're completely scrutinized all the time. You have to be completely on guard. And as our CA motto song goes, he one who is awake when everybody else is asleep. Aise sab tu tata tu, what is our motto song, which is played at the start of every program that we do. I think that's what should be our motto: pride of service before personal gain, partners in nation building. That's what we would like our brand to be built on, the brand on thought leadership, a brand based on value we bring, the value of delivering excellence, the value of communicating quality, the value of networking with a niche group, the value of always volunteering to do better, the value of always standing up and speaking up for what is right, what is not unjust and unfair. I will not tolerate it. I'll walk the walk, I'll walk the talk, I lead by example. That's what a brand would be built on. The brand will be built on honesty, integrity, quality, competency. There'll be a lot of virtues. Consistency is one, simplicity is one, your humility is one. So just choose what you would like to be branded upon and just keep on demonstrating it time and time again. Just this is just one platform you could do it. There are many other real life platforms actually where you walk the talk, and all of these will complement each other. This will only enhance the brand because it will reach a particular level of audience. Just your content posting using of great words will not have an impact if they are not in sync with what you do otherwise in real life. So this may be your real life. Your real life and your real life has to be completely in sync. So it's all about thought leadership and the quality of your thoughts. As you think, you will behave. As you think, you will act. So be mindful of your thoughts. It's all about your mindset. It's all about having a positive growth mindset. It's all about being in abundance. It's all about being that we are miracles, having the best time of our lives every day. It's all about that I'm limitless. So many books you will have on these subjects, many positive affirmations, visualizations I can do on this branding, and basically brand who, it's brand you. And what would the brand be known for? What do you do? How do you do? And for whom do you? So just take these steps. This is one platform where you could use to effectively brand a very low cost platform. So do it. Just start. Everything will take time. Rome was not built in a day. So if you start now, maybe some months or years down the line, there would be some credible followership, some connections, which then maybe you could just build that relationship and rapport to maybe collaborate, complement, and so what are the analytics which one sees on this platform? Basically, how many views you got on the post, how many likes you got on the post, how many comments you got on the post, how many reshares you got on the post, was this post trending, what are your connects, whom are your followers, what worked for you in a particular post. If something went viral, why did it go? If something didn't go viral, why did it go? So you could analyze that. So you could know how and where you could improve. There's something called an SSI score, a social selling index score, which marks you on 4 parameters. So check what your SSI score is. SSI score gives you 2 parameters. One, where you rank in terms of the percentile, in terms of your score with your followers, and one where you rank with your industry wise. So let's say you are in as a chartered accountant, then how do you rank amongst all chartered accountants is will be your percentile score. And if you are having say 1,000 followers, amongst that 1,000 followers, in which percentile you are in. So ensure that you are in the first or the second percentile as far as this SSI score is concerned. Ensure that your SSI score is more than 70. Ensure that the score is never less than 60. So as a beginner, your score would be less, but those 4 parameters, read those parameters, see where you can improve, and you can benchmark yourself against certain doables which they have told you to do, and then increase the score. So there are various people who also help in doing a LinkedIn profile assessment. Is your profile complete? The platform itself gives you that this is what you need to do, this is what you, and then they'll say the profile is complete. Complete means it's updated. It doesn't mean that it is effective. People have lots of young professionals, especially girls from smaller towns, just in their early 20s, who are just taking this media by storm. The ghostwriters, the content creators, whatever they call themselves, do a lot of stuff for reasonable cost. Maybe if you're keen to develop, you could get in touch with them and get some profile assessments done. Would be handy. Or maybe you could even take help of some mentors, or you could just check me with me if whatever help you need, I could always help you. Then there are dashboards which are private to you. Who has viewed your post? What has your post been viewed for? How many viewerships did you get within the last week? Was that up or down over the last week or so? So various performance analytics you'll get on the platform. So just use that to your advantage. And then you can track it on month, see what was the progress you made. So how many new followers you made, how many new connections you made, how many posts you had in a month, how many posts had a certain amount of likes, views, or comments, which maybe you had kept as your desired target. So are you improving in certain manner? What was your SSI score at the start of the month? What was the SSI score at the end? What are the endorsements which you have got in the week or the month? How many recommendations you gave or how many recommendations you got? So a lot of things could be tracked, and maybe you could keep some actionables that this is what I need to do, and then just go ahead and do it. Now the perceptions. If you have a paid account, a LinkedIn Premium, obviously it's a premium account. People who are serious, they could be perceived that they would have a premium account. Followers, I believe if you have followers more than 10,000 or 25,000, that would obviously impress. If your connects greater than 500, it's left to imagination. But technically your followers will be seen, and one can make out based on this how many connects you have roughly by thumb rule. Showcase your top 3 relevant skills. In all of those skills, get more than 99 plus endorsements. So just review what are your top 3 skills which are showcased. Are they relevant? And do you have more than 99 plus endorsements for that? I have not more than 15 skills. There are certain skills which are irrelevant for me, but because at that point of time, there were people who have given me more than 99 plus endorsements, I don't want to remove that more out of disrespect for those people who have given me. Obviously, I had those skills at some point of time. I am no longer working on those skills. Doesn't mean that I don't have those skills. I can always go back on those skills at any point of time, but I have kept it. But I'm still taking care that my total number of skills is not more than 15, which still is a big number. 10 or 12 would be appropriate, but there are people who have 50 skills, 60 skills. Most you can't be all over the place. You've got to be the emperor or the empress of a few skills, and that has to be restricted. So be mindful of that. People who are just saying that they have all the skills, a lot of people could believe that he may not have any of those skills. So just don't let somebody's perception mar your actual reality, because perceptions trump reality unless they are actually busted. So perceptions can make or mark. Then the feature section allows you to feature 5 or 6 of your top posts. Put all your top posts on the main section. So people who go through your profile, instead of searching your entire 1,000 posts which are there, they can see which are your top 5 or 6 posts at the start, and they can just connect on that and get a good idea of what you do. Recommendations, the quality of people whom you have recommended, the quality of recommendations taken. Again, I don't believe myself in taking recommendations because I want to create a perception of a giver. So I would give recommendations then receive. So maybe I would have given maybe about 70, 80 recommendations. People ask me for recommendations. That again is a good sign that you are respected, you are valued for your recommendations. And people voluntarily want to give me recommendations. So they say, no, I want to give you a recommendation. So I can't disappoint them. So I would send that request to them to send me a recommendation, because recommendation always has to come as a request from the person who wants the recommendation. And the recommendation clearly says in what capacity you are giving the recommendation, whether you are his colleague, you are his senior, or you just know him, or you work directly with him or indirectly with him. So at a young stage, at a professional stage, take the right amount of recommendations. It's always healthy to take it. And always being tagged by others. So if people tag you in their post or people send you their post through private message or WhatsApp asking you to give a feedback or a comment, take it as a matter of pride because they think you're worthwhile to send their post to and maybe seek your blessings. So maybe get to that stage where you are being tagged. Success. It's all about the recognition, respect, the expert authority, the thought leadership. It's based on your LinkedIn profile. You get invites for speaking at webinars, either free or paid. I don't know, post this. I don't know how many people is it reaching, how many people could contact me for at least helping them with their LinkedIn post. And I get post every seminar, a lot of connection requests or a lot of phone call later on to help them. Obviously, it's always good if you are adding value to people. And as I say, the monetary aspect is something which will always follow. Do not look at it as something which you first give selflessly. There should be a pride of service before professional gain. The success will be yours if you do quality and great work. What you're doing is creating a digital asset which will always be there unless you yourself delete it. But it will always be stored on the LinkedIn platform. I have created more than 1,000 plus posts over the last 4.5 years. My content will always be there. It's my content. It's my original content. So create your original content. This content can also be useful in making a book. Somebody has made a book on 100 of my best posts on risk management. If found it worthwhile to do it, somebody could find from the value you are adding. It could help you strike business deals, create a perception relationship. It would. Don't go with that as the primary motive. The primary motive be there as you are expressing to impress. Simple. It's you're there, you're giving a value, you are giving a direction, you're giving your knowledge, insight, wisdom, you're enriching, enlightening. Don't go with, hey, that I should get business. Somebody who would go and attack it, I think will hit his reputation more badly. So credibility, trust, a positive perception is what you will create. It can be a launch pad for your podcast, YouTube videos, books, and it can be used to supplement and complement other social media platforms. So show up consistently. Do not drop in any quality or standard. Don't just post because that's a fear of missing out. Post original stuff in your niche. Brainstorm, get feedbacks, get validations, keep positive progressive targets, and maintain all your post data so you can analyze. Enjoy the process. Take some time out, dedicate that time, be patient, persevere. Consistency in quality will always pay. Maintain relations, develop relations. That relationships will matter. The rapport will matter. And it's like a Chinese tree. It won't grow in the first 3 years. It will show an exponential growth after some point of time. That's what is LinkedIn. Initially, you may struggle, but once it's like a bicycle. You initially, when you were riding a bicycle at your young age, you fell down a couple of times. You got up to bounce forward. The same is with this platform. Experiment, trial and error. Do it, and you will evolve. That's it. Serve, inspire, influence, motivate, transform, transcend to make a difference. Leverage the power of stories, create differentiated content, make people educated and aware, share relevant posts of influencers with only their permission. You can tweak your earlier articles with some different tarka, or maybe what I had posted 4 years down the line. And if I twist it with some difference now because the relevancy or the situation will have changed, do it. Now, if a lot of people, there's a contrary theory, if a lot of people are doing as specialists, generalist would also stand out. So it's not that generalism is dead, it will also stand out. So play out, full out on LinkedIn. Best wishes. I'm not on time. Any questions I can take? Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Professional Skills Enrichment Committee of ICAI has chosen a right topic and knowledgeable speaker for today's session. Social media has become part of our life, without which it has become very difficult nowadays to survive. Thank you, CA Abhijit Sanjgiri sir, for elaborately explaining one part of our social life, that is LinkedIn, its use, do's, don'ts, which is the need of the hour, and it is much required to be in the race of professional skill and development. Now I request CA Nitin Nimbalkar to take up the question answer session.
Good afternoon. We have received some questions.
Yeah. And shoot.
Yeah, Abhijit sir.
Abhijit,
Yeah.
this is for you.
Yeah.
How LinkedIn helps the professional? Because I'm of the view that it is a placement office. That is it.
I've got at least 100 speaking invites because of LinkedIn, and I'm not looking at LinkedIn as a job at all. Simple. I'm with 35 years experience. I'm a practicing chartered accountant. I'm not looking at a job. I'm a speaker. I'm a professional speaker. I like speaking because I want to make a difference. I can use my experience and share, and people across have basically reached out to me to speak. I'm speaking tomorrow based on my LinkedIn profile and image, which I have. I've got invites to speak at colleges. I've got invites to speak across the globe because of the digitization. It has created a positive perception for me. If it can help me, I believe it can help all.
Right, sir. We have one more question.
Yeah.
Are we allowed to use our CA Institute logo and the reverse tick? And where and how to insert these two logos?
I have never used it. Just share your knowledge, wisdom, insights, enriching and enlightening content. I think we as CAs just like to go too deep into something which can be maybe controversial, or maybe whether it can happen or not. So I really don't want to even tread on the path and even find out whether it can be used or not and create a controversy. So religion, politics, or something, whether I can use it. I have never said which firm I am. I have never said I was doing audits of this companies or AO. I'll broadly, as small and simple, I will you create the pull where people would be interested in knowing you if you offer quality. You are saying CA Abhijit Sanjgiri, that is good enough. CA itself is a brand. Maybe we can check and find that out, but I would not dwell too much into it.
We have one more question.
Yeah.
How to increase the traction and reach to become the LinkedIn top voice?
So LinkedIn, there are a lot of questions which LinkedIn are. So let's say I am on public speaking, I am on communication, and I am on your risk management. So LinkedIn throws up a lot of questions on this. It asks you for your opinions. You keep on answering that. Maybe about 10 to 20 questions you answer. If they find that it's worthwhile and there are users who are benefiting from that, they themselves will recognize you with that voice badge. Not difficult, needs a bit of homework and needs a bit of effort. I don't think too much effort also. Maybe if you start now, within 2 months, you could get a voice badge.
Okay. To what extent LinkedIn is special or different from Twitter or WhatsApp or Facebook?
Facebook is personal. Twitter is more about your opinion. Twitter is more of a short form text. Insta is more on something of your pictures and something for creative or actors or performers. LinkedIn is more of a professional platform where people check out. So one is the misnomer that people look there for jobs. Yes, that's one part. But LinkedIn is also now a specific way where you also track other professionals. And LinkedIn is a platform where you share, as I said, insights, wisdom, knowledge, enriching and enlightening content, which helps you form a perception. So it's more about the contacts you make, you collaborate, you co-create, you co-elevate. I have done a lot of work with various people on LinkedIn, especially the part where they have invited me to speak at various platforms. Now one is as a practicing chartered accountant, I speak only for my passion. So it's not that I'm doing it for money, but yes, I've got invited to speak at various places which I would never have dreamt of otherwise. So I have followers across the globe. I don't even know how I got those followers. I have close to 30,000 followers. They might be from various countries. Some of them have sent invites to speak on this topic across at crazy countries. And yes, that's the part.
ನೀವು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳಿ
Proximity is part.
ನಾನೇ ಇಂಟ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಬೇರೆದವ್ರು ಕೇಳ್ತಾರ ಅವ್ನ್
We have one more question, sir.
Yeah.
One last question.
Yeah.
More often the contents are very technical.
So the skill is in simplifying the content, right?
No, what he says is, and it is difficult to add human touch. Please throw some light on this.
See, the human touch can be thrown on technical content, but you can't keep on posting technical content because people will also like to see your human touch. Narayan Murthy can speak on technology for long, but Narayan Murthy is also remembered for his simplicity and humility. That's why we respect him much more. Abdul Kalam as a president for his honesty, integrity, simplicity, hard work is what he's respected for. So I'm very clear your professional values will get to where you are, but if it's imbibed with your personal values, let's say Ratan Tata, his love for animals, I think is something which the respect for him goes even more than what he is at an industrialist. We love people for their heart-to-heart connect wherever we can give. So you could have your professional post 4 times out of 7. Once you could have a personal post which would talk of emotions, your values, your vulnerabilities, your challenges or other challenges, which could make you more human, more approachable, more relatable. So that's it.
Okay. Well, sir, that's
My
it.
answers are clear to those guys, right? Whoever is asking.
Yes. Well, that's it, sir, on the question and answer part.
Thank you.
I would also like to summarize on today's session. Actually, LinkedIn is more than just a platform to connect with professionals and expand your network. As a chartered accountant, you can leverage the LinkedIn to uncover opportunities and enrich professional portfolio. This webcast has provided a platform for CAs to utilize LinkedIn for enhancing their professional portfolios. Thank you. Over to you, Mudra, sir.
I would just like to add something. I'm just checking my LinkedIn profile. I've got 14 requests for connections just based on this. So people would obviously follow. That's the power of basically the platform. You get to know, you connect with people, you can then engage, and maybe you don't know what the collaboration will take form because we're not living in an era of competition. We can't possess all the skills in the world to tackle the VUCA, Bani world, whatever they call it. It's all about complementing. And that's where platforms like this are a huge plus.
Thank you, CA Nitin Nimbalkar. Now we are at the end of the today's session. It has become such an honor to be the part of this wonderful webcast on effective use of LinkedIn for chartered accountants, organized by Professional Skill Enrichment Committee of ICAI. On behalf of Professional Skills Enrichment Committee, we would like to extend our heartful gratitude to our today's speaker, CA Abhijit Sanjgiri sir, for his enlightening session, and also CA Dr. Anuj Goyal sir, Chairman of the committee, CA Supriya Kumar, Vice Chairperson, Professional Skills Enrichment Committee of ICAI, for their active guidance. Thanks to the My sincere thanks to the event enablers from the Belgavi branch of SIC of ICI who enabled the webcast throughout. A wide round of applause to and thanks to the organizers of the committee of ICI, our today's speaker, CA Abhijit Sanjgiri sir, and other stakeholders who made this webcast a memorable one. Finally, we would like to thank all the present here and helping us to make this event a grand success. Thank you one and all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mute.